Congratulations. You are at the right place at the right time to start your day with a lightning bolt of energy. If you're here, it's because morning talk shows and even most podcasts have you down in the dumps, depleted and yearning for more. I want more money. I want more time. I want more magic. I want to be told what to do. I want to find what works. I want to scale my business. I want to be provided with actionable inspiration. And if more is what you want, then get ready for the Unblinded Huddle, which is the #1 way to start your day with a dose of integrity-based human influence. With your hosts, Sean Callaghy, Fernando Valencia, Adam Gugino, Jared Yellen, and the entire Unblinded movement.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing out there? Fernando, what is present for you on this Why Wednesday? You're out there, Fernando. Okay, so let's keep rolling through. Hey, I'm Sean Callaghy. Welcome. If this is your first time on the huddle, Jared, Fernando, can you guys hear me? I just want a quick check-in to make sure we have all is good. Okay. So happy Why Wednesday to everybody. We are ready to roll today. Each day we focus with a new guest, and we cover a number of topics related to the formulas, which is how you create more money in less time with more magic. Talking about our process mastery, influence mastery, and self-mastery. And Fernando, I think I have you. You there, brother?
I am here, Mr. Kelly. I had to unmute.
Yeah, hey,
button.
All good. What's present for you?
What's present for me is how interchangeable and how, they work together, the three parts of integrity-based human influence: self, process, and influence. After listening to you yesterday on our Q&A and looking through my notes, I realized that even though we teach them separately, how imperative and important it is to begin to combine them together. So that is what I am present to.
Yeah, and who we got out there that's live and ready to go in the chat world?
Well, this is really exciting because today we have Superman, a.k.a. Michael Smikin, who exposes liars and upholds truth. He was an indispensable leader in successfully obtaining $33 million and $27.6 million jury verdicts, making Callaghy Law, which you and him are partners in that company, one of only 2 law firms in the country to have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts in 3 years, including the largest jury verdict in the state of Arizona in 2016 and 2 8-figure punitive damage awards. Outside of that, he is an amazing father. He stands for a lightning bolt. He is about truth and integrity, a wise man who has given me some of the greatest breakthroughs I personally had last year, and I'm super excited to have him on the call today. Michael Smikin, what's happening?
Fernando, oh my God, you have touched me to my heart. I love that introduction. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Fernando. Yeah. Good morning, the Unblinded community.
Yeah, hey, Michael, what's up, brother? And it's funny because I want to make sure this all lands. So we certainly have high energy, but every one of the statements that just came out is who Michael actually is. And there's no way we have those 2 top 100 verdicts without him. But far more than those top 100 verdicts, Michael has multiple federal circuit court appeal wins, and it's just the most intense, deep person to leave no stone unturned in litigating a case, but comes from his heart at the highest level of integrity. So, Michael, thank you so much for being here. And for everybody, 7 minutes to see what's up with Michael. And what we do through these interviews is we unblind people to different people like Michael, and we also unblind Michael to aspects of himself, and we also teach the formula. So in everything we do, create multiple outcomes. So dropping right in, Michael, what would you say as it relates to process mastery has been the piece that's helped you build and scale what you're building and scaling with Callaghy Law and beyond?
So I would probably say the most important thing for me in terms of scaling is just getting out in front of people. It's so funny how, we sit there, we wait for business development opportunities or even influence opportunities in the practice of law to kind of present themselves. But the reality is that you can always do more in getting out in front of these situations. So from a business development perspective, getting out in front of the gatekeepers who make decisions about who to give legal work to, the people who make decisions about who's a better lawyer, which lawyer I should choose. And then also in the legal system, just getting out in front of judges and making sure that you're framing them correctly, that you're giving them truth so that you become the authority inside of the room and they can trust you when making their decisions about who's right, who's wrong, and what result should actually happen.
Right. So I think a lot of people, so we're going to turn the second question. It relates to your influence mastery and your sales process. I'm going to ask you in a second to convey who and what you are, because for everybody out there, I think sometimes it gets confusing. But Michael, yes or no, would you agree that lawyers, accountants, doctors, dentists, insurance people, financial people, et cetera, are all in the same process of having to uniquely demonstrate who they are so people can make intelligent choices, AKA marketing and selling? Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, people are always attracted to the messenger. The message is critical, but the messenger and who's delivering it is more important.
Absolutely. So how do you do that? I want to stay tight. 30 seconds, not your unique identity, but what is your sales formula? Michael Smikin's sales formula.
I mean, the truth of it is that there's a certain energy that you bring to any conversation, and I approach it with outcome in mind, knowing what it is I want to produce at that given moment. And once the situation presents itself, my brain is creating all of the action steps that I need to accomplish to achieve that outcome. So whether I'm in a situation where someone needs a dose of aggression or Zeus energy to really blast them and knock them on their butt, or just someone to really connect with and understand where they're coming from, more compassion without judgment, a more goddess energy, with outcome in mind. Whenever I approach a situation, I kind of get a feel, and my brain tells me, what do I need to do next to achieve the ultimate result of what I'm trying to do? And it's always a specific outcome.
Yeah, and do you apply the results formula and integrity-based human influence? Is that the formula you're using as you're creating these distinctions?
Yes, 100%. And outcome in mind tethered to powerful purpose, right? Then massive action in front of it, measuring and monitoring whether or not I'm producing the result in a person's face and the actions that they're taking, and then fine-tuning it or celebrating when I get the outcome.
Okay. So let's deliver this. And so everybody, we're going to begin having fun testing. Scale 1 to 10, because we want this for real feedback. You can enter it in the chat and have conversation. Everybody is aware, or beginning to become aware. I hope Michael's aware that we're going to do things like this. We're going to listen for where Michael is currently. 10 is like, I got to work with Michael. 0 is run away from Michael. 5 is, eh. And we want to coach people up and sharpen your listening in the Huddle audience for how people are conveying their heroic, unique identity. So think about what pulls you, what you want to feel and connect with. Michael, 30 seconds, tight. Why should people work with Michael Smikin?
My purpose, in touching the lives of the people who I work with, changing the trajectory of their lives, connecting and being the most optimal version of myself, has caused me to become literally a relentless guardian and a gladiator to produce amazing, unique, and efficient results for my clients. That's how we got to top 100 national jury verdicts. That's how we're constantly producing multi-million-dollar, unique and efficient results for our clients. And in addition to being that relentless gladiator for my clients, I lead a team of caring, urgent, and aggressive attorneys, warriors who are trying to produce the exact same result for their clients, and making sure that people understand that we're able to fundamentally change the way people feel about lawyers, what they understand, what a great lawyer can be, a trusted advisor to them in producing those great results. So that is who we are, and that's who I am.
Awesome. We're going to come back to that. So if you want to throw it in there, say like scale 1 to 10, what is it? And I'm going to try to optimize it at the end. And I have some access points for it. Great job, Michael. Remember, everybody who's new, we talk about not yes, it's good, no, it's not. Yes, it's great, no, it's not. It's scale of mastery. And the higher we go on the scale of mastery, the more exponentially it changes. I won't do the entire scale, but remembering somebody in 9.5, 95th percentile makes $150,000 in America, 9.9, 400,000, 9.999, making $56 million a year. So there's massive incremental jumps as we move up the greatness. So if Michael's a 9.5, the differential, if he gets to a 9.9 or 9.99, will be 10x and more what's happening in life. So Michael, challenges. What are your challenges in marketing and sales? Vulnerable opening, 30 seconds, we're moving, 30 seconds. What are your challenges from your heart?
I think that I have spent so much time in conflict and in my Zeus energy that it makes it real easy for me to live in that space. So being a lawyer, right, operating within the business is easy, right? And most people would hate to have confrontation, truth-telling, accountability management, confrontation at that level. For me, that's easy. What's challenging is going out and doing sales, right? Meeting with the kinds of people who are the gatekeepers of the work. So time blocking to move away from that, prioritizing growth over the doingness of what I've been kind of training for the last 11 years. So that is probably the biggest challenge. So time blocking, getting out in front of people, doing more growth, doing videos, connecting with people who have those opportunities for me.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. So what we're hearing from Michael is stage and microphone in front of optimal stages and calling more people in front of in front of whom he belongs, right? So Michael, we'll come back to that at the end a little bit as well. So for Michael, for you, what's your why? Like, you're doing a lot, you work incredibly hard. Why do you do this?
For me, it's about creating a legacy. It's about ensuring that I am educating, that I am changing the trajectory of the lives of the people around me, that it is about disseminating truth in the things that I believe in and representing the victim and making sure that they are not being abused by adversaries and opponents and a legal system that really is uncaring in a lot of different ways and is expensive and is a high level of access and cost of access. And so for me, it's doing things in the most efficient way possible to produce the most optimal results for people who are real victims and to really change their lives and to change the lives of those around me. And so, you know, my family is critically important to me. I'm very close to my wife. We just had a little child. And, you know, whenever you have that present itself, it just becomes rocket fuel for wanting to produce the outcomes that you set out for your life. And for me, those outcomes is what allows me to continue doing what I'm doing, to allow me to change the lives of the people around me and allow me to educate in the legal system, educate clients, educate my opponents, and influence them to produce the results that I know I need to produce to get to where I need to be.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Now, listen, so I'm hearing the depth of your connection to family, but also your desire to create breakthroughs for good. In that vein, in 30 seconds, what excites you the most about the Unblinded movement and what you see happening here after you and I have been working together for 11 years?
I mean, guys, like, you have access to one of the greatest sources of breakthrough human hacking technology, influence-based, you know, integrity-based human influence. I didn't come to the firm. I didn't come to work with Sean the way I am today, the kind of person who can produce the results that I have produced. That is through a decade plus of ego subjugation at the highest level, but being around a person, namely you, Sean, that can teach these skills, that can show you how to access higher parts of yourself, to experience the level of mastery needed to produce larger than life results for people, to produce miraculous results. And so it's this access, you know, like, who has this kind of access to someone who's teaching these things regularly on morning, you know, every morning? It is access to source, direct, unfiltered, that can change the trajectory of people's lives the same way that you've changed mine.
Thank you, brother. One actionable step. If you're going to give one actionable step, piece of advice for the people listening today, what would it be?
I mean, guys, tune in, right? Tune in, but not with your knowingness. Tune in, not with, I know that already. Tune in, not with the energy of, yeah, I've heard this. What's the next new piece of content? Because that is your ego talking, and the biggest impediment to growth is ego. And if you're able to suppress your ego, if you're able to put that down and actually listen, and really, as Fernando uses the term, sharpen your listening, there are so many distinctions within the content that can exponentially change everything that you do. And sometimes it takes years, right? It took me over a decade to fully understand some of the distinctions that Sean was teaching me. And it's usually not him, right? In the moment where I have my greatest point of learning, it's somewhere down the line, 2-3 years, something happens, and that message that he delivered 3 years ago multiple times clicks. And it's just there, and you're like, oh, that's what he's talking about. And then it's usually followed up by a text message randomly to Sean that says, you're brilliant, that's all. And then he follows up with, what are you talking about? And then I'll tell him, and he goes, yes, right? Because there's finally this level of understanding. So subjugate your ego at the highest levels. Tune in and listen for the distinctions. It's so hard sometimes to hear them. You may know 99% of the content, but that last 1% is keeping you from pure excellence, right? From achieving the highest value. And it may not click in this moment, but if you listen to it and you learn it and you pay attention to the distinctions, a year, 2 years down the line, it's really going to click and there's going to be rocket fuel that's going to hit you.
Yeah. Michael, thank you. Stay with me for a second. So, awesome job, brother. Super appreciate, massive value add. And here's a quick potential access to Michael Smikin's unique identity. Then we'll summarize some of the takeaways from the chat with Michael. All right. So, hey, I'm Michael Smikin, and I grew up in an environment facing tremendous amounts of racial and religious bias. And when I used to walk to and from school, there was a point in my life as a child and even a teen where I became scared. I got attacked, I got bullied, I got beaten. So I grew up as a good boy, a loving person. I did the right things. I crushed it academically. I became an attorney. And when I became an attorney, I thought I was in a world of professionalism, put a suit on, put your shoulders back, stand up straight, be a nice person, and intellectually have conversations that would lead to truth. I was shocked to find that the world I grew up in was just like the legal world. It was full of bullies, liars, bias, and complete and utter insanity. And I was full of knowingness when I came into it, and I was in shock and didn't know what to do. And I found the technology, and I found information and a person to teach it to me. And the beginning was hard. I had an ego. I was smart. I had been super academically successful. And all of a sudden, I tried some of these things and unlocked my potential in insane ways. But it wasn't just the unlocking of my potential. Eventually, it unlocked parts of my heart, because in some of the biggest moments of my life, when even my mentor was facing the greatest personal crises of his life, it was my turn to save him. And my dad died, and my grandmother died, but I wouldn't let our mission and cause down. And so when I was the only person that could stand, I was the one that saved the day. And it led to extraordinary, life-changing, and transformational results for our client in a situation when everybody said we could never win. Everyone. For me, for our firm, and for all of us. Because what I learned the most was that truly being a hero isn't about us. It's not even about the other person. It's about stepping into a space in your heart and soul and moving forward no matter what's in front of you. No matter how much pain you're in, no matter how much struggle you're having. And if you go talk to some other lawyer who communicates to you this way, then hire them instead of me. If not, I'm the only person you could possibly hire. Michael, how does that feel? Is that you or is that not you?
Yes. I mean, that's my biography, Sean. I couldn't have said it better. It was, yeah.
Listen to that 10 times, brother, and your access was beautiful, but you're even more. And throw it in the chat. If you think what I said was not as good as what Michael said or better, talk about it. We're here every day to create access for accelerating people's creation of your own listening in, as well as the guest's heroic unique identity. So thank you, Michael. Did a fantastic job. And let me give you a few other summary quick points. Number one, Michael's greatest challenge, right, is that he is not out there enough conveying his unique identity in front of on the optimal stages with microphones. His process mastery is suboptimal, not as an attorney. His process mastery as an attorney is phenomenal, as a marketer and salesperson. As Michael, and he's stepping in huge right now, I'm so proud of him. As Michael steps in and leans in, he is going to create a 5, 10 plus X growth over the course of the next year and a half. I have no doubt. And he is getting it. It's clicking in. He's building a platform, microphones, stages, access more directly. So my point is, Michael is as talented as anybody you'll meet. But that's like a tree falling in the forest if you're not getting on the stages with the microphones. in front of the right ones and the right people and accelerating. And that's a huge access and opportunity for Michael. So simple takeaway from today is you may be as good as anybody at what you do. And if you're not a great marketer, meaning getting in front of the right people on stage, the right ecosystems in front of them and combining and speaking with the right people to access their ecosystems, adding massive value, you're going to operate at 1/100th or 1/1000th of your potential. And I'm so proud of Michael where he is today, unlocking that. And in terms of his why, let me just add this about Michael. His why, this dude will get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. If there's any possibility of saying goodnight to his children and reading a bedtime story. And I'm so proud of him and what he does every day for that. And some clients have even taken swipes at that and mocked that. And all I would say to anybody who doesn't want to be at home reading a bedtime story to their children from their heart is that I feel bad that that's where you've evolved to in your life. Not if you can't be, but if you can be and wouldn't want to be, then I feel bad, and I hope there's a massive disruption in your life to get your heart back in the optimal place for your destiny, your legacy. So, Michael, beautiful job today. I love you. I'm so proud of you and so thankful for you. Great job, brother.
Thank you. I love you too, Sean.
Thanks. Fernando, what's going on, brother?
Ooh, the chat is on fire. Absolutely loving the dynamic between the both of you. You know, knowing that you've both been training together for over a decade just shows in the love that you have for each other. So for everyone in our live ecosystem, if you'd like to share what you're present to 30 seconds from today's call, please begin to raise your hand. In the meantime, I just want to shout out some first timers. Thank you, Dan Izaki, for bringing Daria into the group. We also have Teresa.
What's up, Daria?
What's up, Daria? We have Teresa, who's here for the first time. And we also have Leslie, who's here for the first time. And just to give us some optics.
Teresa, Leslie, welcome. And please tell us how you're feeling. Tell us what's present for you. And please give us a week so you can see all the different access points. So thank you.
Yes. And we have some amazing comments. Please begin to raise your hands once again. One from Karen. Care, I love relentless, gladiator, and guardian, leading a staff of warriors, trust advisor, all great words. Jessica shares that Michael cares deeply for his clients. She's never met anyone who devotes so much of himself around them. And then we have Leslie. Because of his purpose, I love the concept of gladiator for your clients. So that is what is popping, what is happening in the group, Mr. Callaghy. So Jared, back to you.
Awesome. What's up, Jared?
What is up? Michael Smikin, bringing like every energy right there, Michael. Beautiful job, my friend. Last night, I messaged you. I said, are you ready for tomorrow? And Michael said, yes, but with some significant lightning bolts before the yes. So I love it, man. You showed up. I appreciate you. Hello, everybody. We have tons of momentum right now. I mean, one of the things that we were talking about on the Q&A last night is most leaders will tell people to do things, but they won't actually do it themselves. And we've taken a different approach, which is do what we say and what we do. And in the past 2 days, like what we've done at Unblinded is like what most companies, most like ordinary companies would do in like 6 months. So we did it in 2 days. And most of this is being announced as we speak. Other stuff you'll start seeing, but I'm gonna post right now in the chat. There's 3 opportunities to engage on a deeper level. So look in the chat. One of those opportunities is Michael has agreed to participate in a new initiative that we're launching called the Real Raw Sales Roleplay. It's an hour roleplay. It's live. It's free for everybody. So invite your friends. Just register in advance so you get the details. And during this time, what's going to happen is the attendee is going to try and sell Sean or a member of the Unblinded team. And then after they try to sell Sean or a member of the Unblinded team, we're going to do a role reversal. And Sean or a member of the team is going to actually sell that person on what they just tried to sell us on. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to learn for the interviewee and for you in the live studio audience as well. So make sure you register for that. In addition, Thursday, March 26th, 3 p.m., that's tomorrow, I'm hosting another live Q&A and strategy session. So if you want to learn how to weather the current economic and health storm, join me, register in advance. We will send out the replay after the fact. Nothing is being sold. This is in service of you. And final, most of you know this, some of you don't. We came out with a new course yesterday. It's called Webinar Wizardry. This course is $97. We want you to have it for free. So click on the link in the chat, or if you're watching on Facebook Live, click on the link, use the promo code WIZARDS, the number 4, and then free, all capital letters. It's going to give you a full discount, so it's absolutely free. Watch that module today and commit this week to your first webinar. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, thank you. Let's grow this ecosystem. Hopefully, I am confident that the vast majority of you are seeing the massive value we're giving. Certainly, people give away free pieces of chicken. We joke about this in malls, and it's a great way to introduce people. We are giving away a whole heck of a lot more than a free piece of chicken. This is a massive endeavor, massive effort, free stuff all over the place to add massive value. Not to like throw some garbage at you and say, yo, we'll give you like our 11 seconds of time. This is daily, weekly, monthly. We're approaching 200 huddles in now with continuous innovation and making breakthroughs. Be here. Let's build this together, this ecosystem. We are more together than we are apart. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And oh, by the way, tomorrow we have Courtney Epps on. If you want to learn how to go from in a service business, in a service business of accounting, from $7,500 a month in revenue to $250,000 a month. Yes, I just said $7,500 to $250,000 a month. We are talking extraordinary increase in revenue, possibility more than 100x. Learn from Courtney. She's on fire, speaking on stages all over the place as an incredible woman entrepreneur. And this all happened in a very short period of time. Have a beautiful day. Back on the Huddle tomorrow. Thanks.
So now is the time you take action. What is the one thing you will do today that will help you make more money in less time and with more magic? All you need to do is take one action right now and then head over to our private Facebook community at www.unblindedmovement.com to share your big win for the day. If you share today's win and any questions you may have for us, along with a 5-star review, so we can reach more like-minded people like yourselves, your questions will be answered and maybe even your win will be live on the podcast. And if you have not already subscribed, please visit www.unblindedhuddle.com to be part of our live studio audience for each morning huddle so that we can help you see what you don't see about the fun, excitement, and magic of exponentially growing your sales.